EDP covers topics with explicit and strong language and is intended for mature audiences only. Topics may be sensitive to some, and everyday people may not agree with the views expressed during the discussion, but keep in mind, we are giving you the point of view of everyday people with everyday topics. EDP 365 is not afraid to go there. All right, y'all. So we're going to go ahead and get the show started. Chris Styles is running a little behind tonight, and so I am going to go ahead and get this thing going. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Les, and the show is EDP 365. Like I said, Chris is running behind, but we're going to go ahead and get started because we have a guest tonight, Miss Kanya Ford. Now, if y'all remember last week we had some issues, so we're going to make sure that we can bring Kay in tonight, and I'm hoping that's not going to be a problem. I'm hoping that we'll be able to bring her in without issue. But I do want to say this before we get started. So many of you may know that when we first started EDP 365 Facebook Live, my friend Todd was one of the hosts of the show. And I told you all a couple of months back his son was killed. And so I just ask that y'all keep Todd in prayer because today is actually his son's birthday. So y'all keep him in prayer. That's probably a lot to deal with when your son just passed, and his son passed in the summertime. And again, today is his birthday, so keep him in prayer. All right, so normally we have wine for the evening, and this was the wine of choice tonight. It has not been opened. Chris is not here, so I might just be taking this home and enjoying it all by myself. So, Kay, I'm going to try to bring you in, and let's see. Prayerfully, it'll work tonight. We won't have the same issues that we did last week. And so, what we're going to be talking about tonight, if we can get Kay in prayerfully, we can. We'll be able to get her in tonight. And we're talking about women being aware. And when we say women being aware, we're just talking about being out and about, your surroundings, knowing what's going on, not constantly paying attention to your cell phone, but being aware of who's in the parking lot, who's behind you, who's in front of you, who's standing in the parking lot over there in the corner and has been for the last 20, 30 minutes. And so those are the things that we want to talk about, especially with so much sex trafficking going on. And, you know, every time you're on Facebook or wherever you're looking at various things, you're seeing where this person is missing or that person is missing. And thank God when I see those, a lot of times once I push, I click on the information, a lot of times these people have been found, which is a great thing. And so, like I said, if we can bring Kay in tonight, prayerfully, we're going to be able to have this discussion because Kay has some information for us. But let me share something else with you all. Miss Tara Clark, who is a damsel in defense rep. Yes, Kay, I sent the invite. So Miss Tara Clark, who is a damsel in defense rep, I don't know if she's going to be looking tonight or not. So if you need anything like tasers or what else was I going to say? The spray, I can't even think what the spray is, y'all. But I don't know why I want to call it gas spray, but the pepper spray. And so she sells all of those things. And just recently, and thank you again, Tara, she actually, my daughter had a taser and somehow it broke mysteriously. And so what we did was we were able to trade it out, and, she did some things for us. So now she has a new taser, so I'm kind of excited. Well, do I want to say excited? I'm just happy that she's able to have her taser now. I feel a little bit more comfortable when she has to go to work and things. So I sent the invite, Kay, and I think the same thing that happened last week is happening this week because I don't see the information at the bottom where it's letting me invite you in, but I think there's another little piece on there and it's not going to let me in. So, and Tara Clark just came into the live, y'all. Like I said, Tara Clark is a damsel in defense rep. So if there's anything that you are in need of, you can post it, and let's see. You can post it, and Tara can address anything that you may have concerns about regarding self-defense information. And she actually has a self-defense class that is coming up, I believe, share the date, Tara, because I don't know. I believe the date is the 29th of this month. Teens, anyone from teens to seniors can come out to this event. And again, it's going to be all about self-defense, defending yourself while you're out. And, you know, now it's the holidays, so it's really probably going to get crazy. Just recently, I told y'all last week where 2 women were at the mall and 2 guys just came out and just pushed them or and robbed them. So again, be careful. If you don't have to have your big purse, don't take your big purse. Try to avoid taking a whole bunch of different packages when you're out, especially when you're out by yourself. You know, when you're shopping, it's hard to kind of get around having a whole lot of packages if you're in the store shopping. You don't want to have to constantly run back and forth to your car. And so, you know, just be mindful. And I wanted to say, you know, try to go during daylight hours, but sometimes that doesn't matter either. But again, you just have to be mindful of your surroundings. And I know y'all looking at me saying, oh my gosh, why does she look crazy? I'm a little chilly, so I got this nice scarf that my mom purchased for me on my arms because I'm a little cold. So, yeah, Tara Park posted the date. It's going to be Saturday, November the 30th, and that's here in Richmond, Virginia. I can't remember where it's going to be, but ladies, that's something that you can attend. I'm not sure if there's a fee attached with that or not. And so, okay, can y'all hear me? Because my mother is saying she can't hear me. Can anybody hear me? Because this is getting crazy when we got issues every week. Okay, so Tara says she's not teaching this one. You'll be there with the product. I will have a class coming up January 2020. Yeah, keep me posted about the class in January 2020. If I know I can't attend. I wanted to go, but I just remember, I can't remember. Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading some, y'all. I'm not teaching the one. Okay, there it is. So there's the information for the defense class. It's going to be on November the 30th. DNA Fitness Studio, 1160 Wilkinson Road. All right, so you all attend that. And so this is what we're going to do. Happen again, but we can still talk. All right, so let's talk about it, Kay. So unfortunately, for whatever reason, the live is still doing the same thing that it did last time. So prayerfully, Kay can just type in some things and we can go from there. So until that starts, I'm just going to share some information with y'all. So potion number 2. Now that's going to be great for stocking stuffers. If you're looking for something inexpensive, you can get potion number 2. Spray and go so no one knows. Everyone poops, no one likes to smell it. $3 per bottle. It's a 15 milliliter bottle. Comes in 4 scents. Alpha Mist, Citrus Blend, Island Breeze, and Orange Slice. Most people like the Alpha Mist. A lot of people like the Alpha Mist, and so that's what a lot of people end up purchasing. So that's one of the best sellers, the Alpha Mist. And so that's going to be a great stocking stuffer. Probably in December, I'll start running some specials on potion number 2. All right, so Blinged Out Party. So I got a Blinged Out Party shirt on today. I actually did this one. Blingologist with nice shoes. And then I have, if y'all can see that, I've got shoes on the back as well. So let's see what Kay has shared with us. She said, I shared a video through my coaching page of a young lady talking about her cousin that was almost snatched. Please review that on Love and Intimacy 101 LLC. Is there any way you can include the link for that, Kay? All right, so let's see what else we got going on. So Blinged Out Parties. So this is the next thing I'm going to talk about as we correspond with Kay, since we can't bring her into the show for whatever that reason may be. So like I said, and it was so crazy, Kay, because last week I was able to bring somebody else in, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on with that and why we can't connect. But like I said, Blinged Out Parties. Get 10 of your friends together and you can create your own Blinged Out t-shirt. It's just like a paint party, except you are creating a Blinged Out t-shirt. And so these are great, and you can wear them over and over. You can create different t-shirts, and so you can reach out to me for the Blinged Out Parties. Also, let me share some other information. EDP 365, you can join that group, Everyday People 365, and that's an extension of the show. Meet, Connect, Promote is a page that I created for people to be able to post all the things that they're doing regarding their business. And you can post every day. I don't have restrictions in that group, and so you can post there as well. Now, for all of my authors in a co-op, you can go to that page and post your books, authors events that are coming up, authors tips, authors questions, so that's there as well. All right, so I also created Richmond, Virginia events and vendors. And so there you can post events that are coming up. You can look for events that you can be a vendor at. Now, I have an event coming up in May, and I'm going to go live in January with that. And so, again, like I said, I'm going to have a vending event in May. It's going to be $65 to reserve. I know that is Chris that y'all hear with all that rattling. But it's $65 per table. But I have some perks for all of the vendors. And so that's going to be something great that's coming up in May of next year. But again, it goes live in January. And so all of the vendors where you have people like Paparazzi and things like that who sell the same products, and you normally only have one person in the room, you probably want to get your space reserved early. All right, so Gino, Girls Night Out. I also have a Girls Night Out. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So, Girls Night Out, Gino, that's another group that I created. And that group is just something fun for women to post, you know, their own Gino Girls Night Out events or things that are coming up. And so, yesterday I started posting my Jamaica trip. I just came back from Jamaica last night. Woo! So I went out and had a really good time in Jamaica. And so, for the rest of the week, y'all will be seeing me post things. So this morning I posted the rum punch that we got when we actually went into the resort. So that was pretty cool. So I'm going to be going back, probably not to that resort, but to a different resort. Thank you, Sherry Lynn Hicks. Yeah, I'm going to plan my birthday party and my birthday gathering at a resort. And so I'm excited about that when I turn the big 5-0, the big 5-0. And so that's what I'm going to be doing for my birthday. And I'm going to invite some folks to come and hang out. So as always, if you have any topics that you want to share, let us know. Let us know and we will get them on air. So let me say this, y'all. Oh, this Saturday is the Black Connections Black Business Expo. All right, so there's going to be a slew of vendors in the building, and that's going to be at Crossroads Art Center, 2016 Staples Mill Road. Miss Daphne Maxwell Reed will be there. Katrina Freeman, Miss Full Figure Virginia. These people will be there, so please support Miss Sandra Wilson and her event. All right, so that's coming up as well. So, okay, while we got some folks here, did you want to share anything else? Oh, don't forget, go to YouTube, check out RWO, Real Women of RVA. You can check out the trailer. I am part of that cast. Well, a little part. I don't think I have such a big part because normally I got so much going on. And so you can check that out, like it, subscribe to that. All right. So what else, y'all? What else? So, like I said, I had a really great time in Jamaica. And so I'm going to be posting more pictures. So I posted this morning, I had a whole, excuse me. I had a few folks to say, hey, Les, have a good time. So, y'all, I'm actually here. I normally don't post pictures of me on vacation because nobody needs to know that I'm actually out of town. So, I'm not in Jamaica. I'm here when you start seeing all these random pictures that's come up. My friend Tara, who I went with, she posted just like I want to say all of her pictures, but quite a few of her pictures from the trip. Yes, and y'all, that is Chris. I know Kay said that she can hear that information. I mean, she can hear what's going on in the background. Sorry. All right, so again, Kay, did you want to share anything? And we can just read. Kay said, sit your tail down. So we can just read some information from Kay because I'm sure Kay has a whole lot more information than I have regarding that. Because my thing is, again, just be careful of your surroundings. We have Miss Tara Clark, not my friend that I went on a trip with, but Miss Tara Clark with Damsel in Defense. You can just put it right there. And she's here if you need any, tasers, any pepper spray, all those good things. she's here for that, and there's going to be an event coming up. Oh, I do want to say this, y'all. There are going to be some changes going forward in 2020. I am going to be transitioning and doing some new things with my brand. And so y'all can look forward to seeing some new things and some new changes. So shout out to Miss Tracy Harvey, who is on board to help me to make all these changes that I need to make going forward for my brand and for me to be able to grow. I also want to say this. We also have EBO, Entrepreneurs and Business Owners. I'm the founder, and President Chris is first vice president, and my friend Betty Thurston is the second president. So with EBO, the vision is to bring entrepreneurs, brand builders, and business owners together to be able to help each other to enhance and grow. So we're going to have a whole lot of things going on. We're going to be doing speeches, networking, helping each other to grow. We're going to have accountability partners, and what that is basically is having somebody within the group that you can call on, or they can call you, hey, are you doing the things that you're supposed to do? And so we're going to be helping each other. So Kay says the video hit on the topic of ladies not being able to be comfortable in our femininity from fear of being taken. Yeah, and you got to be careful. So I had a conversation with somebody today, somebody who I met while I was online, and he's like asking me certain questions. I'm like, well, no, I'm not going to tell you those things because I don't know you. And maybe he doesn't have, any ill intentions, but you got to be careful, when you're online, when you're out. You just have to be careful because you never know what people's intentions are when, you have the conversations. And again, over the last couple of days, y'all, I have seen so many different posts online where they've caught people who were part of a sex trafficking ring, and amen, thank God that they caught them. Like I said, amen, I'm glad that they caught them. But yeah, this is like really, really serious. All right, so on the video, the Uber driver said he needs to stop picking up ladies because he wants to stay out of it. This is sad that a man would not want to protect us, but wants to avoid it. And you have that a lot. You have a lot when people don't want to be involved in things. They want to steer clear of anything that could be danger, or if they're snitching or whatever the case may be. And so, what was I getting ready to say on the video? The Uber driver said, oh yeah, and you got to be careful with the Uber drivers. That's another thing. If you are one who takes the Uber or the Lyft or whatever is out there now, you have to be careful when you get in those cars. And so they always say, make sure you check the information to verify that the driver is who they say they are before you get in that vehicle. So that's another thing that you have to be careful of as well when you get into these various Ubers and all that other stuff. And like I said, with it being the holidays, be careful with people who are doing the delivering, where they're coming to your house to give you food. Be careful when you're going on vacation and you're taking those Ubers. When we went on vacation, what we did was, in advance, my mom called the Park and Go, paid for it in advance, and we were able to park her vehicle. And then once we were able to drive ourselves to the airport. And then once we got back, we were able to, get in the vehicle and go. When somebody knows you're going on vacation, or they have an idea that you live by yourself, it can get tricky sometimes, again, especially if it's not somebody that you know. Because I was so surprised, I hate to say I was so surprised, but I was surprised when I saw on Facebook where someone was going on vacation and they called an Uber, and then the Uber person went back and robbed their house. So it's just crazy. So let's see. What does this say? All right. So Kay said the way it was described, she had been watched because they were on her every move. The police are not wanting to take these claims serious either. But then you'll go to jail if you blow somebody's brains out, right? Because they violated. All right, so let's see. Make sure the child lock is okay. So that's another one. Here's another tip from Tara. Make sure the child lock is not on your door as well. Uber. I heard traffic was horrible.
Something happened. I don't know what happened.
Oh, okay.
But it was gridlock. 95. South, and it's 95 South.
That's pretty good.
Everything was like gridlock this evening. Okay, let's see what's going on. So it's still not doing what it's need to do.
No, and I don't know. It only happens with Kay because I was able to get somebody else in on the live. So
okay, let's see what we got.
I don't know. So Kay, that means we need to bring you in on the couch. We need to stop doing this bringing Kay in the box because you are the sex expert for the show and you have been for quite some time. So maybe we can get together. The first time we got together, we were all in the same room, and so we done got too cute to get together instead of having you in that little box. So Kay also said these nabbers are watching you ladies, so always try to change your routine. Yeah, I heard that said a lot. Try to change your routine. Pay attention to where you park and what vehicle you are near. Yeah, come on, Kay. We need to get you on the couch. So next month, on the couch, Kay.
Let's see if I can.
What? Try to bring her in?
Yeah.
No, we just gonna keep it moving. It's 7:30. She just gonna post stuff, and we just gonna read it, and then we can share whatever information we have regarding just being careful with your surroundings. So just to bring you up to speed, I just talked about when you're out and about, especially with it being the holidays, you really have to be on point and checking out what's going on because people want to steal your money, people want to steal your packages, and all that other kind of stuff. So we talked about Uber, being careful when you're Ubering or Lyfting or whatever your mode of transportation is. Ladies, for the ladies who are out catching the bus, or once you get off work, you gotta walk a certain distance to your car, or you have to walk from the bus stop to your house, whatever the case may be. Like I said, Tara Clark, she is a damsel in defense rep, and she is here tonight. She's actually checking out the live, but she can tell you about some products that she has. So, Tara, if you're still watching, can you put the link in so people can actually see or go to the website and see if there's something that may work for them? Now, I've had 2 damsel in defense parties, which was great, and people were able to walk away with a lot of different things.
I even went, and I wasn't even a damsel.
Oh, gosh. So, I've gotten 3... I've gotten 3 things for myself. I've gotten some from my mother. Some from my daughter. My mom has gotten some products as well. And I feel a lot more comfortable with my daughter when she has that. And so I'd rather her have something than nothing at all. And that makes a big difference. But I do want to say this because I am so guilty of this sometimes. If you have those items, if you have a taser, if you have the pepper spray, I got something else. Let me see if I got it in my pocketbook. But I got something else and I can't remember what it's called. I got this a while ago. Oh, what is this called, Tara? I don't even know what this is called.
I think you break a window with that piece, though.
Yeah, but it's like for you to, you know.
Anywhere that touches hurt. Go ahead. Anywhere that touches hurts. And that's a sure damn deterrent. So
I ordered this. So let me show y'all this. This is my purse.
And she had to put that in your booty.
Purse. This is my we don't want to be talking about nothing in nobody's butt. So, here's my purse. This is my purse. I love this purse, y'all. I love this purse. But anywho, if it's in here, guess what? It's not doing me any good when I'm walking. And I have been guilty of that. So what I try to do now is, like last night when I was going home, so I have this as well. The other thing that I have is in my car. But, oh, wait a minute. Let me read what Cass said before I go past. Okay, as it stands, there are 64,000 black women missing in the U.S. It takes a true push to get law enforcement to take it serious. I had a scare a month ago, and the Norfolk State University Police and Atlanta Police were amazing, but it was my persistence at the beginning that got the ball rolling. Yeah, and you got to. It's called the Sock It To Me, the pink thing that I held up, and I'll bring it back out. This is called Sock It To Me. Tara, real quick, can you just share any quick information you can about this? All right, so Kay said gouge an eye out. Oh, yeah. And Tara said it's a martial arts striking tool. And Kenya said, bah ha ha, not the butt. So, Tara, if you're still selling these, can you let us know? Because somebody may want to purchase that. So what I also have is this. But again, like I said, y'all, it does me no good if it's sitting in my purse. Mm-hmm. And so there's a light. If you need it for life, you need to if you need to open your if you need to open your door, if you need to open your door anything, then here's that. Sorry about that, y'all. But then be careful with this, because I almost tased somebody one day when I had this on. So let's see. Y'all hear that? All right, so let's turn this off. Let's turn this off. So this can also, let me see, because this is how it was demonstrated to me. Yep, you need a new party. We have new product. Okay, so yeah, I need a new party. Maybe I'll do one after the first of the year. My goal this year is to be saving money, not spending money, and I already got some products, so I don't know.
I need to be saving too.
Yeah. So look at this, you all. So let's say, for instance, the person that attacks you or attempts to attack you, and I want you to just pull this, Chris. Just pull the whole thing. Oh, we getting a tussle. Now, push the. Now. Okay, so it's on. So you notice the light is not on anymore. So go ahead. I'm going to turn it on and hit the button, Chris.
This button?
Yep. So now it doesn't do anything, because guess what? This has been detached.
And they can't use it against you.
From the taser. Right. They cannot use it against you. So this is great.
You tase me. I can't tase you.
So when you're out, this needs to be wrapped around your wrist. And then again, if they take it, this piece comes out. And do it one more time for me.
That's a good demonstration.
Does nothing. All right. So I'm going to put it back in. I'm not going to give it to Chris to demonstrate. I'll demonstrate on my own. So now I haven't moved any of the buttons. It's back on. All right. So
you don't want none of that.
So just have some things that can help you defend yourself. Now the other thing I have is in my car, and what it does is I forgot what it's called, because it's been a while since I've had a party. But what it does is it has a little mechanism on the end. If you get stuck in your car, you can shatter the glass and get out of the car. Then it has like a flashlight, and I think it has a flasher on it as well. Like I said, I can't remember the name of it, but I have that in my car as well.
And you know what, ladies? Y'all probably don't think about it. I'm always in protection mode. These little gadgets right here work really well. Whether you're gouging, whether you're slicing, or whether you put it between your forefront of your finger and punching with it.
All right. So Kanye also said, also place your keys between your fingers, and Chris just demonstrated that. As you walk until you purchase the Sock It To Me from Tara Clark. Scared the hell out of me. All right. So yeah, I have these products, and if you go to Tara's page, she can tell you about all these other products, because she said they just had some new products that have just come out. And so again, but like I said, don't just leave them in your purse. When you're out and about, have something in your hand. They also say too that when you're out and if somebody tries to attack you, to yell fire and not help, because they say a lot of times people don't respond to help as quickly as if you're saying fire. And so, if that happens, scream whatever. Just scream until you see somebody. Because a lot of times when you're in that situation, in the heat of the moment, sometimes you're not thinking about all those tactics that I learned in self-defense, or I got to pull this out of my pocketbook and use it. You may not be thinking about, oh my gosh, I'm going to use this, or I'm going to use that, and I'm going to use whatever. Sometimes it goes out of your head. And so scream, yell, hey, kick, punch. Do whatever you have to do. If you're in a position where you can run away, then run away. So Kanye said, literally while clubbing, if you see anyone looking like they wanted to tussle, keys went between the fingers. And so not just out when you're out, that just made me think of something. Not just when you're outside of a shopping mall or a different area. Look at who's watching you inside the store. Look at who's walking down the same aisles that you were walking down. Also, when you're going home, and sometimes I'm like super crazy. But even when you're going home, check and see who's following behind you.
Right.
Check and see who's following behind you. Have they been following you for the same 10 likes? And again, sometimes they're just going in the same direction. But, you know, rather be safe than sorry. Because there have been times where somebody has been riding behind me too long. And if I'm getting close to where I live at, I'm going to turn off and go on down another street. And then if I see that they haven't followed, okay, of course I'm going to whip around and I'm going to go home. But again, take all the precautions that you can. So Tara said, protected pepper with shield technology. It is a disabled pen like the stun gun.
Okay.
It connects to any app via Bluetooth when spray is deployed. Signal goes to phone, sends out a text message to 5 people. Oh, I need that. I need that for my daughter too. All right, ladies, I want you to still feel comfortable in your beauty when going out. The important thing is to be aware. Yes, be aware. Yes, pay attention to who is paying attention to you. The young lady that was almost snatched at the Zaxby's on what? The Zaxby's on Midlothian. Oh, help me.
Zaxby's
on Midlothian was by the guy who had been circling the Kroger parking lot. So you have to be careful.
You know, Les, I did want to tell you this. And again, ladies, if you anything around you, gentlemen, if even they snatch gentlemen too. So I'm just telling you, when I was 12, when I was at 15 years old, had people riding around the van and asking people for directions. And the guy was basically said it was a guy, you know, he was a guy, I can't hear you really good. Can you come closer? Can you tell me? And he acted like he was trying to show me something. But as soon as I got a little bit closer, the timing was kind of off because they could have actually got me. When I was walking up to the van, they pulled the van door open and 3 people jumped out to try to grab me. But me being who I was back then, you know, playing sports and this and that, I was dipping, dodging, I was out, you know. So that happened to me at 12 and it happened to me at the age of 15. Same block, different set of people, same similar questions and circumstances. So you can't always even be nice to people or want to give people directions or whatever that is that they even asking for. It's like, you know, you don't have Google Maps, nigga. Ways.
All right, so Kay said, don't just watch the white man because it's people that look like us. Well, the people that look like us are taking us. All right, so I want to say this. I can remember when I was younger living in Newark, New Jersey, and there was a guy who lived down the street from us, and my brother came home talking about that the guy had just gotten robbed or somebody was trying to shoot him, I think. But in the end, they tried to shoot him. And so as he ran, my brother said that he ran in a zigzag pattern, and that was to keep whoever was trying to shoot him from
getting that beeline on him.
And getting that beeline on him. And so, you know, and God forbid that anybody is placed in that situation. But again, if you have to run, try not to run in a straight line because, bam, run in a zigzag. It's hard to catch somebody in a zigzag. All right, so Kanye said, think about this. Young 20-year-old man could get $500 to befriend you on social media, take you to a party, and bam, you're gone.
And that $500 is a good lure. Like, wow, you know, he got some paper, but that paper is that investment to actually. I mean, he's gonna make more than $500 once he got you. You know what I'm saying? So that $500 is an investment to get your ass.
So Kay said it's okay to meet people, but we are trusting people way too soon. And that's the thing now. That's how a lot of people meet. They meet online. And you meet all kinds of people. It's not just men. You know, you meet men. I'm trying to figure out what that was, y'all. That might be the light. So you meet men, you meet women, you meet all kinds of people. So like I said, y'all, I met somebody. Somebody reached out to me online. So we talked, and he's like, well, where do you work at? Which location do you work at? I'm not telling you all that. Well, where do you live at in Richmond? I'm not telling you that either. And he kind of chuckled. I said, well, I don't really know you. So, you know, I'm not going to share a whole lot of information with you. And that's what happens. You know, a lot of times we get vulnerable. Oh, he looks so good. and the conversation was good, and I've been lonely, and I'm not in a relationship anymore, and so now, you know, I got this guy's attention, and he's asking me all these questions, you still have to be cautious. Don't get caught in that trap where it's like, okay, and you're allowing yourself to be vulnerable, and then you're sharing all this information. Don't have guys coming, and it's men too. Don't have people just coming over to your house that you've just met. Women can set up men.
No.
Yeah, women can set up men. Men can come into your house and do all kind of things. And that's what I don't understand about men. But I get, if your intention is to do something, I understand. But, you know, it has become so comfortable for somebody to meet another person online and say, hey, can I come over? And it's like, oh, okay, well, come on over. And a lot of times it works out and it's no big deal. But there are times where it doesn't work out. So again, you've got to be careful. All right, so Kanye says social media has made the comfort levels way too lax. Yes, people are stalking and watching your every move. And you know, here's another thing that's scary too. It's so easy for people to access your information online, where you live at, who your relatives are. So that's scary too.
I did want to share this with y'all. Men, you also have to be careful because one year I was traveling and I happened to go out and I was with one of my boys, and when we went out, you know, of course, you know, you want to meet somebody, things of that nature, or you know, you by yourself, this is even conversate or talk to somebody or something like that a lot of times. And so sometimes when you see somebody very attractive, you know, making moves or trying to get too comfortable with you too quickly, and you know, it's like, oh, you know, blah blah blah. I got VIP and I got this, I got that. You know, come back, sit, you know, drink with me, have a drink with me, things of that nature. Be careful of that too, because what it is, somebody that's going to spend that money to get you in VIP, all drinks on them. You have to be careful of that kind of shit too, because it seems their intention seems very nice, but once you may have had one too many drinks, or somebody fix a drink for you, just be sure to fix all your drinks yourself or have it come from the bar. But you don't know if all these people are in cahoots as well, so you have to be careful. And then somebody's asking you later to come back to the hotel and this and that and the third. You have to be careful of that shit these days, because dudes are too quick to want to have one night stands, or you want to do this, you want to do that, and come back home and brag to your peoples and say, yeah, I pulled, blah, 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 I did this and that and the third. No, you being, in this day and age, you being pulled.
All right, so Kanye said yes. The napper can sell you for thousands, so $500 is nothing to get you. All right, so Kay also went on to say, yes, a group of young ladies were peddling the Bible on NSU's campus and taking young girls. It is also okay to ignore people that make you uncomfortable. Excuse me, if you've ever watched the movie Book of Eli, and see what that says. Mm-hmm. The Book of Eli, the woman used to lure men over to be killed. And here's another thing. Women are a lot more free now in having sex, so it's not always, I don't know him, so I'm not going to go out with him. You know, there are a lot of times now where women say, oh, you know what? He could get it. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna sleep with him, and then he can go home. So that happens, you know, a lot more nowadays. So ladies, even if that's what you're doing, that's your business. You know, whatever you do in your bedroom is your business. But again, you know, just be careful. Even if you're like, okay, well, I don't want a relationship with him. I just want to have sex. And then, you know, he goes home or you go home. But just be careful with that as well. Something I also want to say real quick. Let me read with Kanye. So Kanye has a link for the video that she talked about earlier. Yes, men are a target as well. Boys are a hot item in the sex trade, to be honest. Yes, they are.
Not only
so be careful with that as well.
Not only for undercover men or political men of power. If there's women also who want to use them for whatever they use them for, you know, that happens as well. I think the percentage is a little bit, you know, I would say probably 65-35. But there are people out there, older women or whoever, that might can't have or get who they want to have. So, you know, they got that man on speed dial. Be like, yo, you got my flavor?
I swear it's something right here. Oh, also, I wanted to say this. When you are going out, male or female, when you are going out, please tell somebody who you are going to be with. And I know sometimes, and I know for me, I don't like people in my business. Unfortunately, people get in it, but I don't like people in my business.
I'm in it.
And so what you do, if you meet somebody new, call your friend. Hey, Chris, I just met somebody. His name is Kenneth Ford. He drives a black Range Rover. Here's a picture of his license. You may not get that, but hey, here's a picture of his license plate. And so this is who I'm with. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm going afterwards. So share that information. My friend Todd, me and Todd are really, really close. And so if he met somebody, he would tell me. And if I met somebody, I would tell him, you know, hey, Todd, where you at? Who is the person that you're with? You know, what's her address? Or, you know, I would say, hey, Todd, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm going. All right, so Kay said, I agree. It is okay to share your body as you please, but be cautious. Don't drink anything you do not open and have an unbroken seal. Oh, I wanted to say this about drinking too, because I've had to tell my daughter, if you can, drink before you go out. Especially if you're out by yourself, especially if it's just you and one other person, you know, because sometimes you get separated. Sometimes like, oh, girl, I'm going home with him. Or, you know, I'm getting ready to go. But if you can avoid it, don't even, I don't know, people want to go out and have fun. Mm-hmm. But try not to drink too much in the club. Or just be very mindful of where you sitting your drink at. Put something on top of your drink, but be very mindful of that. So Kay said, yeah, share who you meet and plan to be out with. The nicest person can be the scariest behind closed doors. So let me tell y'all what happened to me. This was years ago. So this is when, in fact, it was so long ago. This is my first book. So my cousin gave my book to this guy. I also mentioned the movie Hustler. It was an excellent movie to see how hustling is done. Yeah, if you haven't seen that movie, check it out, because that's a perfect example of how people get hustled. How people get drugged, you know, they don't know what's going on and people just take advantage of them. But my cousin linked me to this guy who helped me out with my book. And so me and the guy, we met up, we end up going out or what have you. And so I remember us going, and this wasn't here, this was actually in Jersey. So we end up going out to the mall, we walked around the mall, and he said, okay, I gotta go home. So we get to home, and the aunt was there, or the cousin or somebody. It was a lady there in the house. Nothing happened, but I just want y'all to understand something. He didn't try anything, didn't do anything crazy, but he told me we were going to his house. Well, come to find out, it wasn't his house. It was the aunt's house. So again, you got to be careful with that. People will tell you anything. People will tell you anything to get what they want. And again, he didn't want anything because, again, the aunt was at home. Whoever this lady was, the aunt was at home. So, you know, he wasn't trying to lure me there to do anything, but what if he was? You know what I mean? What if he was trying to lure me there to happen? I'm none the wiser. Now, I've been talking to this guy, my cousin, you know, hooked it up. Hey, this guy's going to help you with your book. We out chilling. We stopped. And the plan wasn't to be at his house. He went there for something. We ended up going to the mall. But again, as I stated, what would have happened if it was a setup? I would have fell right into it. And so when you're meeting people, don't meet them at your house. Don't go to their house. Meet them in a public place. Drive your own vehicle. Like now, if somebody calls me like, hey, Les, you know, I want to, you know, can we go out? You know, we've had conversations. No, you can't come and pick me up at my house. You can't pick me up. I will meet you there. So real quick, I'm going to tell you this, and then we're going to read Kanye's comment. So, met another guy, and this was for the show. This was for the show and for the online magazine. And so, and he watches the show sometimes. He was going to be part of the team. And so he's like, okay, well, I'm coming through Richmond. Let's go out. I can sign a contract. And I was like, okay, cool. I met him in a public place. I did not say come to my house. I did not say meet me around the corner in the cut. We met at a public place. So we had dinner. It was really cool. And afterwards, he says, you want me to follow you home so I know you got home okay? I said, nah.
Good.
I'm good. And so he asked again, and I said, nah, I'm good. And so, and maybe his intention wasn't anything. I don't know. Like I said, he still watches the show from time to time. But no, I don't need you following me home because I don't know why you're trying to follow me home. I'll text you or call you and say, hey, I've made it home. So again, and ladies, a lot of times we fall into that trap. We don't want the person to be mad or we don't want them to feel offended. Screw them.
Your life is important.
Your life is important. Your life is important. And so you do everything to make sure that you are safe. Don't let him follow you home. Don't let him come to your house. Don't let him pick you up. Meet him somewhere. Tell somebody where you're going. Tell them what you have on. And sometimes, ladies, when you're meeting men, or even men, because women set men up as well, you wait and see them going to the restaurant sometimes. Check out what they have on. Find out what you're going to be wearing. What kind of car you're going to drive. Okay, I'm going to sit back. Let me wait for this car to pull up. Let me wait for him to get out. But let me see who else is in that car with him. Let me see where he parked at. And so you have to be cautious and you have to be on your toes. Okay, your toes. You have to be on your toes. So Kay just said, as a young adult, I placed myself in so many dangerous, and you do. Sometimes we place ourselves in dangerous situations, not thinking that something's going to happen, trusting people. This topic was never really talked about in the black home because we didn't get snatched. I'm so glad we are talking about this more. And y'all remember the child Atlanta murders? Mm-hmm. Remember that years ago? It was a black guy who was behind that. Yes. Who else is in the car? Yep. Who else is in the car?
Now, Kay, I know I talk about this situation every so often, but even a bar that I go to all the time, new people came into the bar. Everybody greeted them. They bought me a drink, and that was the last. I remember speaking and talking to them. I remember the last word I responded to them because they was like, "Hey, it's like do you want to go to this party?" And that was the last thing I remember. And I ended up waking up. And for me, being a drinker, that's not normal for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I may have I had 2 drinks prior to that, and they bought me a drink, and that was the last thing I remember saying, yes, where is it at? That was the last thing I remember. And I ended up waking up about 30 miles outside of the bar area where I was, in a rural area, in which when I woke up from the situation, I had to find specific things. I had to find my shoes and different things like that. And I had to walk about a mile and a half down the road to even get reception, to even try to reach out to call somebody. Couldn't get my calls through, so I had to walk a couple more miles down the road in a dark area to a place where they had the phone still on the walls, on the telephone poles and things of that nature, or the phone booths. So I had to walk and call somebody to actually come get me. So again, that was a very dangerous situation that I got myself into by actually doing that. I could tell you so many different, scenarios and situations. Back when I was a D-boy.
What is D-boy? For people who don't know what that is.
Oh, well, years and years ago, I used to sell, and there was somebody that I thought that I knew. And one night we was together, me, her, and her girlfriend. And after the club, we went back to my house, and we was playing. You know how what was that, Spencer's back in the day? Is it still?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's so there was a drinking game. So we pulled out the drinking game. We was playing the drinking game in my room, and you know, of course, if I was losing, they was both picking me to drink. The thing that happened, the person I thought I knew, over a course of months, I didn't know they had a cocaine habit. So they end up spending, they ain't take it all, but out of my $800 I had in my jacket pocket, they took $300 and they took my car keys and they left. Never came back. So again, it's that certain situation you put yourself in sometimes with making yourself very vulnerable, or thinking that you know people that you really don't know. So that's what I have to say about that. Again, just be careful, watch people.
All right, so Kay, I'm so glad you put that, because I was actually thinking this before you sent that last post. But I was going to say, talk to your daughters, and not just your daughters. Talk to your kids and help them to understand about being aware. And what made me think about this, when I was younger, and I don't know if my mother's still watching, and she may remember this, I had to be about 16, 17 years old, and I went to some kind of party, and it was at the show place on Mechanicsville. And so this was years and years ago. But I went to this event on Mechanicsville at the show place, and met this boy, and he was driving. He was probably like, I don't know, maybe like 20 or so, I don't know. He was older than me. He was driving. And so, and I don't even remember 30 years, 40 years later where we ended up going. But, you know, we talked, and he drove me around in his car. And, you know, nobody knew where I was. I didn't tell anybody. I don't think I did. I could have told the girl I was with. I can't remember. But anywho, but I went off with him. You know, anything could happen. I didn't know this dude. Didn't know him. But sometimes when you young and you dumb, and, you know, you meet somebody like, oh, he's got a car. He could have killed me. Mm-hmm. Anything could have happened. He could have raped me. He could have killed me. He could have did anything. And so, parents, talk to your children, not just your daughters. Talk to your sons about things that are going on, how they need to be careful, and how they need to be aware, not to just go off with anybody. You know, I remember one time, this was a couple of years ago, it was me and the girl that I used to work with. And so we're down in Shacklebottom, Bottom, we just hanging out. So these dudes, older men, nice vehicle, pull up in this nice vehicle, you know, and they're trying to get us attention. Hey, how y'all doing? We want to take y'all out. And these guys were from out of town. And so as we're talking, now me and this girl wasn't close friends. We worked together, and, you know, sometimes we chilled at work, and we, once in a while, went out together. And so as we're walking, he's like, oh, we're going to give y'all a ride. And she's getting ready to get in this dude's vehicle. I said, no, ma'am. We're not getting. I said, well, Les, first of all, ain't getting in that vehicle. I said, and neither are you. We came together. We're going to stay together. And we're going to leave together. So you're not getting in his vehicle. And she was getting ready to get in his vehicle. And so we all end up meeting at, it wasn't, I don't know if it was Bottoms Up, but we were in that area. And so, you know, I was like, no, you're not going to get in this vehicle. Who's to say what would happen? And a lot of times that's how we get tricked. We see a nice looking man. We see a nice vehicle. We see that he has money. And same for men. They see a nice looking woman. Looks like she's got it going on. Again, we all can be tricked. Be on your toes. So let's read this real quick.
And, you know, that's a good thing. And I do that too. And whether I'm in a club, we're in a restaurant, or whatever that is, I'm always looking and peeping to try to see what's what. Just in case something happened, I might even be like, hey, yo, look, blah, 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 blah. You know, just to keep a lookout. Because some people may look odd, a little strange, or that they peeping a little bit too much. Mm-hmm. But I was always like that. Whether I was out in the street or just doing whatever in the club, that was just me. That's just who I was and what I did for my team. You know what I'm saying? So if I see anybody gritting and looking too hard, I'm going to get the word out, because watch this dude, you know, or we going to hit him first. We're going to find out to see what's really up. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, I've just always been that dude. So I appreciate your husband being who he is and doing what he's doing. Because sometimes even now we've been at networking events or doing or something of that nature. I still see him. He ain't saying too much of nothing. He just looking, listening, paying attention. So I was like, that's that Nick right there.
All right. So Kay said, happened to my daughter, and she thinks 4 guys took advantage of her. That was an angry day finding out. But she literally cannot remember anything but sitting on a sofa and seeing the lights go out. Woke up the next day fully dressed, but nothing more. And I want to say this as well. Don't you be the one that put the poison in your drink. And what I mean by that is, a lot of times when you're just drinking, you're throwing them back, you're trying to have a good time. Sometimes you may not remember what happened. And so anytime that I go out, I don't drink a lot. I may have 1 or 2 drinks. 1, I need to be aware of what's going on. 2, I need to make sure I'm going to get home all right. 3, I don't want to be pulled over and end up getting a DUI. But again, most importantly, I need to make sure I'm aware of what's going on. Now, I don't really do clubs anymore. I may go out where there's an activity and people are drinking. You won't find Les drinking a lot. So my friends, they laugh at me and they say little sly things. I don't give a shit. I don't got to drink, and I don't got to drink as much as you do. But I know when it's time for me to go home, I'm going to make sure I'm all right.
Wow.
Because I've had too many friends. I've had several friends to get DUIs. And I just see all the headache and all the anguish they have to go through in dealing with that. And not only that, it's dangerous. Mm-hmm. It's dangerous to be behind. I know we're going off topic, but I'm going to come back. But it's dangerous to be driving drunk. But like I said, so many things happen when you're drinking. You start drinking, you can't remember what's going on, you stumbling, you don't know what's happening because you're inebriated and your mind is just somewhere else. And so again, like I said, don't you be the one putting the poison in the drink. Because again, know your limits. You want to make sure that you are able to go home now, without problem. All right, so
I do want to read Kanye's comment. And again, Kanye, you mentioned this a little bit earlier, and I think this was me. It's been me for too long, up until these last few years. And I really had to watch myself and start listening to people. Because even if I have to go out of town to do certain things, people's lingo is a little bit different. But you have to listen and pay attention to facial expressions and different things. They might be having a conversation with you, but the person sitting right across from you, they feeding them knowledge and information. You may not know what the fuck is going on right in front of your face, but I pay attention to so much. I'm just like, I need to find out what that is. So even if I hear certain things that I don't quite understand, different lingo, I go to the bartender or somebody over here and ask them like, yo, what's this mean here? Just to get a better understanding of somebody talking about you in front of your face, like if somebody's speaking another language, or they plotting to get you, or anything like that. Bartenders know, club owners know. So, but you said we have the propensity to want to trust and keep trusting, and I think that's a bad thing for me. I always love to trust people. I want to give people the opportunity to do the right thing. But people in this day and age are not necessarily willing to do the right thing. They'll use the right thing to lure you into something. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm not even sure what we should do about that. I mean, I don't want to always walk around and be on my toes or alarmed all the time, So there has to be some type of balance with that.
All right, so Kay said, you guys have been around enough to see how I interact with people, and it's always on a cautious level. But my husband is even more cautious. Anytime we are out together, he scopes everything and everybody. Before we go to Kay's next comment, I want to say this. Make a pact with your friends. Mm-hmm. Hey, girl. We coming together, we going together. You want to meet this dude, get his number, and y'all talk another time. But you're not going home with anybody. We all came together, we're all leaving together. And guys, if you have to do that, then do that. Because again, women will set you up as well. It's not just the men setting up the women, but women will set up men as well. So Kanye also went on to say, anything can happen. Our natural selves want to trust, and Chris just touched on that. But the new reality has to pause us. I constantly talk to the kids about this. And again, talk to your kids. I'm going to address that real quick. Even about students, teachers, and school faculty. Schools are not truly a safe zone anymore. Have a conversation with your kids. This is not the day and age where you pacify your kids and you don't tell them anything and you punish them if they think about sex, if they talk about sex. I'm going to put you out if you get pregnant. Have the conversations with your kids because they need to be educated about what's going on. They need to know what to do if this happens, what to do if that happens. Talk to your kids while they're young. As they're growing, of course, you're not going to tell a 5-year-old the same thing you would tell a 12 or 16-year-old. But again, get them comfortable with their body parts. When my kids were growing up, I didn't say things like, oh, that's your little secret hideaway, or that's your little Tinker Toy stick. I didn't tell my kids like that. You have a penis, you have a vagina. Get your kids to understand their body parts. Get your kids to understand if somebody touches you on your penis, if somebody touches you on your vagina, if somebody touches you in a way that's uncomfortable, then you need to speak up. And I wish I would have never saw this video. I swear, I wish I would have never saw it. Because there are points sometimes I can't get this picture out of my head. And I don't even understand why the guy even recorded it. But there's a guy sitting in the chair. And I mean it, y'all. I swear I wish I would have never, ever saw this video. But there's a little girl. She's got to be 5 years old. About 5 or 6 years old. And this asshole has his penis in her mouth. And he's making this little baby suck his dick. Perform oral sex. I'm sorry. He's making this little baby perform oral sex on him. And it's a video. It is a video. And from my understanding, they got the guy. I'm sure they did. They got the guy. But the thing is, tell your kids. When you're scared to tell your kids about sex and things like that, if somebody's got it in their head that this is okay, they're not going to know to tell you that this happened and it was wrong. Educate your children. Educate your children. That little girl probably wasn't none the wiser. She probably thought it was something that it was okay to do. But and y'all, when I get that picture in my head, I just get so disgusted. I just get so angry that a grown man would do that, but then you tape it. What is that? And so again, talk to your children. Stop being scared to have the conversation. I can remember having a friend, and she said, well, if she gets pregnant, I'm going to put her out. No, have the conversation with her before she gets pregnant so she knows what to do. No matter what we do as parents, we can't stop our kids from having sex. You can't. If they have it when they're 12, if they have it when they're 13, if they have it when they're 20, 18, whenever. We cannot stop our children from engaging in sexual activity, especially in 2019. But what you need to do is you need to educate them. Hey, and if you don't want to buy the condom, don't buy it. But let them know, hey, if this little boy wants to have sex, he needs to have a condom. If this little girl is blah, 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 stay away from her. But educate your children so that they know. And that's the mistake that a lot of parents make. You don't have the conversation with your kids because you think you're condoning sex or you're condoning bad behavior. No, you're educating your child so if they are placed in that situation, they know what to do. Make it so that your children are comfortable in coming to them. Because your kids will hear the wrong thing from the people down the street. I can remember, and I can't remember everything verbatim, but Bree came home one day. Bree had to be in about 7th or 8th grade. 7th grade, I'm sure. It was 7th grade. And she comes home and she's telling me something. I was like, whoa, no, that ain't how it go. No. So again, have the conversation. So I'm going to read this real quick because it's 8:07. All right, we read that one. All right, so Kanye said, I see parents drop their elementary school kids off in front of the school way before it opens. Anybody can walk up and take them. And how would any one of us know they were not a relative? I sit in my car, just cringe seeing these kids left curbside. I was so glad that, when Brianna went off to high school, that I was able to take her to school, and then eventually she took herself to school and came home.
And you know what could happen? Just something innocent, as somebody in a car, be out there, or a van or a truck or whatever. It was like, y'all cold, y'all come on and get in here, and the kids go ahead and get in the car just to be warm and just drive off, So.
Right. So if y'all didn't read Chris's response, he said pedophiles in school and the police department.
They're all over the place. So you don't, school teachers, you don't know who your kids are dealing with until it's normally too late.
All right. So Kay said, Love and Intimacy 101 LLC is always happy to help with the conversation. Have a group session with other kids with me. I'm very open to educating on youth. I'm glad you said that, Kay. Well, I got grown kids, so if there's anybody who has small children who you're not comfortable talking about sex, talk to Kay. Reach out to Kay, because it sounds like something that she can help you with. If you know any parents who are scared to have the conversation, please share Kay's information, because we have to educate our kids. And I know we're talking about women in general, but it doesn't just affect women. It affects women probably more, but it affects women, it affects men, it affects boys, it affects little girls. And so we all need to be educated. Kay said she heard about that video. Did you want to read the other ones?
Oh, wow. She also said that a coworker just told me about her son when he was 2 was molested by his 10-year-old cousin. He said, I'm sure the 10-year-old is not a predator, but he was a victim of someone. At 2, he was able to tell her that the 10-year-old put his pee-pee in his butt.
That's so sad. Be careful what your children are watching. Be careful and I don't just mean on TV. When you have company over, men and women, when you have company over, be careful what you're doing in your living room. What did somebody tell me? Because all eyes that are closed are not sleep. So be careful what you're doing in your own home. Now, I'm not telling you as an adult you can't have sex in your house. You pay the bills. You can have sex in the kitchen, in the living room, in the basement, on the front porch, if that's what you want to do. But when you have small children in the house, when you have children in the house, period, you may not want to just have sex on your couch. Go in your bedroom, close the door, and lock it. Close the door and lock it.
Because a lot of times, when you go behind closed doors, the he, she, her, sometimes close the door, don't lock it. And I actually had to get my kids, when they were younger, out of the habit of just busting in the room. Or somebody's child, me and somebody might be in the room, and somebody's child might be used to just coming in the room when they felt like it. It's almost like you have to unprogram them and retrain them. Do not, if you see somebody's door closed, knock on the door first. Do not bust in the door.
And teach your kids that. So Tara said real quick, if we don't talk to our kids about sex, somebody will, and it might not be, and it may be the wrong person. So Kate, it looks like she's getting ready to leave, so let's read her last comment. All right, this was awesome, everyone. Thank you for the conversation. Please feel free to contact Love and Intimacy 101 LLC anytime to get the conversation going. Info at loveandintimacy101.com, and there's the telephone number and the website. Y'all all know that Kay is usually on at least once a month, and so any of the topics that we cover with Kay, you can always reach out to her. You don't have to wait for her to be on the show to cover a topic regarding anything that she does under her brand umbrella. Her information is there, so reach out to her. And thank you, Kay. I don't know if you're still on, but thank you, Kay, so much. We couldn't bring you in via the box, but there's a will, there's a way. And so I'm glad we came up with the idea to just type the information. I know that's a lot sometimes when, you got to text or you got to do the talk to text. But this was a great topic. We were able to share a lot of information and put a lot of things out there. Because we all have to be educated. And, sometimes we get so comfortable in what our everyday, with our everyday lives and routine. Like I said, I got shit in my pocketbook, and sometimes that's where it's sitting at, in my pocketbook. And that's not going to help me if I'm walking down the street, because because at that point you're nervous. Like, oh my God.
And you might not
and I
get
have
grab it correctly.
Right, and I got a fairly large bag, and so it's like, oh my God, and you don't have time to do that. So stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Stay ready, y'all.
You crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Tracy said, hey, Tracy. Tracy's great, y'all. Coming 2020, y'all gonna hear me talking about Tracy a whole lot more. She's got a lot of things going on, and she can be a great help to entrepreneurs, brand builders, and business owners. And so y'all, stay tuned for information about Tracy's, because she's getting ready to help me to do some really big things. And as I transform my brand and do some new things with Les Cover to Cover. So anywho, very important topic. Hey, Les and Chris. All right. So, Kay, if you want to share any final thoughts, go ahead and put it in, and we'll read it after we share our final thoughts. It is now 8:13. And after I share my final thoughts, Chris, if you want to add anything, because I did all my announcements initially.
I heard you.
So my final thought is basically what I said. Educate your children. Be aware of your surroundings. If you have things that's going to help you, don't carry them in your purse when you're out. Put them in your hand. Have the conversations with each other, not just your kids. Tell people where you're going. Tell people what you're doing. If you were out by yourself and you don't have anybody that you could tell somebody in a restaurant that you're going to. Tell somebody in the movie that, hey, I just met this dude. If I raise my hand, that means something crazy is going on. Even some of the bars and places that we go out to, they have certain things. If something's not right, hold up a 5. Order a cup of orange juice, whatever the case may be. But stay educated. Educate others. Educate these kids. Educate these kids. Let them know what's right, what's wrong. Help to prepare them. So again, be mindful of your surroundings while you're out. If you don't have to drink, don't. But if you do, be mindful of what's going in your cup. Even if you drink before you leave home, when you're in wherever you're going to be. Be mindful of how many drinks you are drinking, because it's not always somebody slipping something into your drink. Because if you're drinking to the point where, again, you're drunk out of your mind, nobody has to put anything in your drink, because you just put the drinks that you ordered into your system, and now you're not aware of what's going on. Always be aware of where you are and what your surroundings are and what is going on. Drinking is fun, but you want to get pissy drunk, drink at home.
Yeah, I couldn't have said each and every bullet point better. And again, one of the things that we talked about earlier today that I need to reiterate really quick is it's okay to go out. It's okay to do whatever it is that you want to do. Just do it in moderation. And don't trust as much, because everybody that you hang out with, you go out with, or everybody that you meet don't have your best interests in mind. So with that being said, Les, do you have anything else you want to pop in real quick?
Okay, said, don't miss Mirror, a co-ed pleasure education workshop. Visit the link. Kay, you doing your thing. I need to start linking with you more, because you doing the damn thing. But that's all right, because Tracy getting ready to help me do the damn thing, and I love it. All right, so don't forget, this weekend, Saturday, Sandra Wilson, who has been on the show before, will be having her Black Business Expo. That's going to be at 2016 Staples Mill Road, Crossroad Art Center. Please come out and support her event. Miss Daphne Maxwell Reed will be there. Katrina Friedman will be there. Miss Full Figure. And guess what? Me and Chris, now I'm going. But, even if I wasn't going, I would be in the room. Chris and his wife would be in the room, because guess what? We gave business cards and products. So we will be in the room on Saturday. Somebody else will know about what we're doing, because guess what? We continue to promote, and network.
And with that said, from EDP 365, again.
There's a final thought.
My bad, Kay. We almost have.
And next week, Woody Winborn is supposed to be here on the show. And so I'm going to reach out to him to confirm. But next week, Woody Winborn is on the show.
Again, Kay's final thought is, we have to keep this topic in the forefront of our minds. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to question someone who is too interested in you suddenly. More importantly, be aware. Put the phone down until you are in the car and it is locked, or in the house, or you're in the house and the door is locked. Better safe than sorry. Again, beware. And these are small things, and that's something that I didn't touch on this evening, because I was running behind schedule. It's damn traffic. But one of the things I've seen so far that get people fucked up is these cell phones. You don't know if you don't know if somebody's watching you. You might have an enemy. You might have had an argument with somebody, anything like that. You so tuned into the cell phone, you don't see what the fuck is going on around you, and somebody could bash you. If you're walking out on the street doing like that, and you can get seriously hurt. I've seen people walk in front of cars with the earbuds in, listen to music, not paying attention to the surroundings, but paying attention to what you seeing in front of you. Like the walkway is clear. You ain't look to the right and you ain't look to the left. And so that left your ass on the ground hurt. But outside of that, please take some time to get away from these cell phones. Don't trust so much. And again, just be aware. Because so many of us are being taken, being snatched, being used in some nefarious ways in this world. And had you had that little bit more of awareness of what was going on, it could have saved your life. And again, people get closer to you, or you're in a close distant proximity, try to keep some distance between yourself and that other person. I don't care if you got to jump between a car, a tree, or something. Keep some distance between yourself and that person until you get yourself together. Whether you be in a fight or flight mode, sometimes you got to get it in. You got to take a punch, give a punch. That might be even the thing to say, oh shit, he fighting me back. Usually, a lot of people who are predators are used to snatch and go. You stiff that motherfucker in the face or something like that. Poke an eye, scratch a face, do something, bite a lip, an ankle. I don't care what it is. Get them up off of you and get ready to go. But with that being said, from TEDP 365, again, we love you. Stay woke, be aware, get your grind on, create a business, but most importantly, listen, y'all. There's a lot of things going up in our skies. Pay attention to the sky. There's a lot of things going on. Watch for the signs. Peace.
All right, and so Blingologist party January the 25th here in Richmond, Virginia at Shore Pump, at Bar Louie in Shore Pump. You can reach out to Les to attend the party.